Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Liz, and in today's video we're going to be doing some Dollar Tree DIYs. So after the holidays, I love to start with a clean slate and just put out new decor. So I have some great options for you for decorating into the new year. I recently went to Dollar Tree and got some really great stuff. So the first thing I found were these cute little wood crates. They're in the crafting section and I picked up 4 of them. I'm going to start by hot gluing these 4 crates together. I'm going to try to get them as even as possible because a lot of them aren't matched perfectly. Once they're glued together, I'm going to stain them with a stain color called Special Walnut. And I like to just use a foam brush and I'm going to wipe on the stain, and then I'll take my paper towel to remove any excess stain. Now on the front of this, I created a Farmhouse printable that is going to be linked down in the description box for you if you'd like to go check it out. You can just print it off on regular printer paper. That's what I did. And then I also grabbed a pack of these like wood plaques that they have at Dollar Tree. So I'm going to put the wood plaque down and trace around my farmhouse sign. Next, I will cut out the farmhouse printable. And then I'm going to hot glue my sign to the plaque. To distress the edges, I'm going to use a Sharpie and just go around the edges. If you mess up, it's okay. You can always do a little curved part up at the top to make it blend in. Once I get the edges distressed, I'm going to hot glue it to my container. Now the fun thing is you can fill this with whatever you want. I'm going to be using some really cute florals from Dollar Tree in my container. And here's a look at how it turned out. When I was shopping at Dollar Tree, I came across these really cool wreaths. I haven't seen these before. These were completely new to me. I posted them on my Instagram account, and if you're not following me on Instagram, you need to be, because anytime I go to Dollar Tree, I post things that I've found or just different behind the scenes stuff. So make sure you go follow me on Instagram. So for $1, you get 2 wreaths, which I thought was great, and I thought they were really cute. So I have a container in my craft space that's just all of my greenery, and a lot of it are boxwoods that I've picked up from Hobby Lobby. Some are boxwoods that I've bought at Walmart, and even some from Dollar Tree. So I am going to mix a variety of that greenery and put it down in like the bottom left corner of my wreath. I kind of just keep adding until I like the look of it, and I always like to use hot glue to put the pieces on. Now to hang this up, you can do a lot of different options. I'm going to be coming in with burlap and then another Farmhouse ribbon from Dollar Tree, and I'll just hang it up on my door. And this is a really simple and inexpensive way to create a wreath for really next to nothing when you consider how much wreaths typically cost. So this next project is probably my favorite one that I created in this whole bundle. I love these little candy dishes that you can buy at Dollar Tree. Now these are located over in like the party supply section, and I always like to pick up 3. Groupings of 3 just, in my opinion, look so much better. So I'm going to start by putting a layer of painter's tape on the top of each of these containers. And I'm going to try to make them all look the same and have the tape at about the same level. Then I'm going to spray paint everything with a flat black spray paint. Now this is going to take at least 2 coats. And I also turned them so they were upside down so that I didn't spray the inside of my containers. Once that has a chance to dry, I will remove the tape. And then you could do so many things with this. I'm going to be filling it with some natural stones from Dollar Tree and then putting in 3 of my favorite succulents. This is so quick and easy to do, and how adorable does this look sitting out on my table? For our next DIY, you're going to need to pick up a cake plate from Dollar Tree and a blue glass vase. And you're also going to need some toilet bowl cleaner. So with my cake plate, I'm gonna get 2 trash cans. I'm gonna put the cake plate in the bottom, and then I'm gonna start filling it up with toilet bowl cleaner. Now I'm not gonna touch it because there's chemicals in there that can react, and you don't wanna be messing with any of that. And when you do take this out, you wanna make sure that you're wearing gloves. And what I do is I just kind of put that in the bottom of a trash can and I let that sit for a couple of days. Now, some people say you don't have to let it sit that long, but for me, I just let it sit for a couple of days and I forget about it. With the blue glass, I'm going to spray paint that with at least 2 coats of a flat white spray paint. Now for my cake plate, after the 2 days, I'm gonna wear gloves and rinse it off really well. What that toilet bowl cleaner is going to do is it's going to remove a lot of the coating. So you're gonna have rust, you're going to have like that silver pulling off, and it's just gonna look really cool, antiqued and worn, and give it just a nice, cool look. So once you get to this point, it's really easy. You're just going to turn your cup upside down, add some hot glue to the bottom, and then you're going to put your cake plate on top of the cup. And this makes an awesome tray. You could put it sitting out in your kitchen or your bathroom, and I just love the way it looks. So you guys know I love to create rope trays, but I thought I would give you a different option that's even less expensive than the nautical rope tray. So you want to buy a clear tray from Dollar Tree, and then you also want to get one of the mop heads that they sell at Dollar Tree. Next, you're going to take your mop head and you have to remove the black piece at the top. So the only thing that I found that would take this off, scissors weren't working for me. So I came back in with wire cutters to cut the top of that off. So once you cut that, you're going to be left with about, I would say like 12 to 15 inch strips of white string. And that's what we're going to use to create our tray. So you're going to start in the middle of your tray and add in hot glue. And you're going to put one strip down in the middle and you're going to start wrapping it into a tight circle, adding hot glue as you go. Now, once you get to the end of that strip, you're just going to grab another strip and put hot glue down and glue it in place so that you're going to look like you have a continuous piece of string. So do that till you get about 1/3 of the way done. Then you're going to take that, and I'm going to take it outside and spray it with 2 coats of a black spray paint. Let that completely dry before you move on to the next step. And then you're going to come back in and you're going to finish up your tray, adding in the white that you were putting on previously. Now make sure that you do it as tight as possible so that you don't have any gaps. When you get to the end of the tray, you want to make sure that you go all the way up to the edge. You don't want to see any clear tray at the top. Even if you have to do an extra run, that's better than having like little clear parts sticking out. Now for the handles, you want to turn it to the back side and you're going to take maybe 4 pieces together, and then I'm just going to lightly twist those together, cut them off the length that I want for the handles, and then I'll hot glue them down in place. Then I'll repeat this for the other side, making sure that I try to make them as even as possible. Now, you don't have to measure it, just eyeball it and try to do the best you can to make them as even as possible. And here's a look at how my tray turned out. You guys are gonna have to let me know what you think of that one, if you like the tray or not. So let me know down in the comments. So I found a lot of great things in the serving aisle, and one of the things that I came across was this really cool serving bowl, and I loved that it had this like great texture on it. So I'm going to spray paint it with 2 coats of white spray paint. So once that is completely dry, then I'm gonna get out a color called Elephant by Waverly. And I'm also gonna grab one of my large foam brushes. Now I'm gonna put a little bit of that paint on the foam brush, not a lot because I want this to be a light layer. And then I'm just going to brush lightly that elephant paint onto my textured piece. Now I'm trying to just do a top layer so that I really get that texture popping out. So you could always go back and add more paint. So start lightly and then you can always add more. I think this is a great decorative bowl that you could put as a centerpiece or out on your countertop. So I tend to get a lot of inspiration at Dollar Tree just by walking around and what I see. And sometimes when I see something really great, I'm like, okay, I have to figure out a project with this. So I found this scarf, and of course I loved it. And when I was writing up my notes, I realized that that scarf just looks like the shirt I'm wearing today. So I must just really like that animal print. I wear a lot of animal print, I know. So I grabbed the scarf, and I also grabbed this little Christmas Tupperware container. Now, you don't have to have this same Tupperware container. They have several different variations at Dollar Tree that you can use. This was just kind of what I found at the time. So my idea was that I was going to wrap this scarf around this container and make like a little book basket. But when I started to do that, the red was coming through. So really, if you had a clear container, it would work a lot better. So to fix that problem, what I did was just take some white paint. I used the Waverly paint and did one coat of paint on this. Now, I wasn't worried about this being perfect. I was just trying to cover up that red so that I could wrap it with the scarf. So next I took my scarf and I cut off one of the ends, and then I started to hot glue it so that the bottom edge was even with the base, because I knew that edge was going to be showing, and I just hot glued around the container, making sure that bottom was nice and perfect to the bottom. And once I got to the end, I'm going to hot glue that in place. Now with that top portion, I decided to just tuck it into my bowl. With the excess scarf that I'm not gonna use, I'm gonna fold it up and put it in the bottom. And this is a great little book basket that you could put in your children's nightstand or sitting out anywhere. So I love this time of year when there's all these huge serving platters, and I found there's a really cool one at Dollar Tree. They usually don't have serving platters this big, so I had to grab it because I thought it would make the perfect coffee table tray. So I'm gonna spray this again with 2 coats of white spray paint, and then to dress this one up, I wanted it to have a distressed look. I'm pulling out something that I haven't used in a while, which is my Vintage Effects wash that has been sold out on Amazon. I've probably just been like hoarding it so that I don't waste it. So I grabbed that and a Dollar Tree brush, and I'm just going to lightly brush it around the edge. Now, whenever I'm distressing, I really don't know how it's gonna turn out. So what I like to do is add different layers until I'm happy with the outcome. So I'm gonna brush it around the edge, and then I'm going to take a paper towel and wipe away so it's not too much at all. Next, I decided to use a black paint pen from Dollar Tree. These paint pens are bomb. Like, they are awesome at Dollar Tree. These are some of the best paint pens I've used. Like, if you see them, buy them. I'm just gonna lightly go around the edge of my piece. I'm gonna go back in, add a little bit of brown until I'm happy with the look. That's the awesome thing about distressing, is it's totally personal preference. You add as little or as much as you like. And then I'm just going to add some decorative elements, but I think this would be great sitting out as a coffee table tray. It would also be great in like a centerpiece on your kitchen table. All right, you guys, I hope you're inspired to create some DIYs. Let me know which of these projects was your favorite. And like always, if you're new here, make sure you subscribe. I post 2 DIYs each week and you don't want to miss out. You'll get notified anytime I post. And if you missed our last one, I'll link it here for you. And I'll talk to you guys in our next one. Bye.